The College Board hasn't released any official set of practice materials yet, although we predict that they will probably do it sometime around early 2015, or maybe mid-2015. So they have given us some early examples of the types of passages that they will show and the types of questions that they will have. And based on that, we're actually kind of very excited for the new SAT because it seems, at least for the reading part, like an improvement on what you are learning so far. The first thing, and maybe the nicest thing, is that they seem to be considering eliminating one answer choice from all the questions. So instead of choosing from 5 answer choices, you would have to choose only from 4, which is good, right? That's nicer. At the same time, it seems that their standards for testing your ability to actually understand the passage might be a bit higher. So, for example, you might get a very difficult passage that's about science. One question, the first question might be, what is the main idea of the passage, which is very normal, right? You get that already. And then the second question would be something like, which of the sentences below best illustrates your answer from question number 1, right? Which means if you just guessed in question number 1, you won't be having a very easy time with question number 2. So, there's a little bit more challenge in that aspect, right? The third thing that I noticed, which I'm especially happy about, is that the complexity and variety of texts seems to be much more varied. So, for example, right now, you might get a passage from a historian remarking on a speech by a president 100 years ago. In the new SAT, you might actually get the speech by the president 100 years ago, right? Which means if you're not very good at reading that kind of old style language, then you might find it a bit more difficult, right? So there's a little bit more variety in the types of passages that get used. Fortunately for us, right, there are some people who are panicking because this means that all the practice tests and practice materials that are currently available will become relatively obsolete, or their utility will go down a little bit because of the new test format. But because we focus on having you guys actually become better readers and not just better test takers, this is actually a very exciting opportunity for us. So right now, we're actually introducing a new class in June that will be helping students in grades 9 and 10 develop reading skills and writing skills that will be useful for both types of SAT tests. So if you want to take the test before the new exam comes out, then it would be good, right? But also we'll be offering the types of passages and the types of readings that will be used for the new format as well. I should also add, if you don't know already, that the essay will change and become optional. Nominally optional, right? My prediction is that just like with the ACT test, which has an optional essay, the top colleges will still require you to do the essay. And the essay is a lot more exciting than the current types of essays. Everybody probably already knows that the essays that you write right now don't need to be tied to any reality. So you can just make up your examples and then write 2 pages and then still come away with a perfect score, as long as your basic English is okay. On the new SAT, they will be giving you an actual passage to look at, and you will be writing an essay that analyzes that passage, which means you can't really make stuff up, right? But that's actually a good thing for you, right? It's the better way, if you actually practice that essay, you will be preparing yourself to become both a better analyst, which will be good for the SAT, but also just a better student, which will be good in college.